welcome back to Dial H for Heroclix. My name's Kris Britton. This is episode 178, and let's go!
My stuff.
Dial H for Heroclix is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock every day, including all of the latest Heroclix singles and sealed products. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com. Welcome back to Dial H for Heroclix, a podcast about Heroclix and other related content. Joining me in the studio today, we have my co-host, Kalder Ness. What's going on, Kalder?
Oh, Quog. Yeah, no. Absolutely. Had a great week. So far so good. Got kicked in the face. Got to see V for Vendetta for the first time. So far it's been pretty great. Saw Thor Ragnarok. So a lot is going on. It's pretty awesome.
Hold on. You had never seen V for Vendetta?
I haven't, so I just watched it like an hour ago.
Oh, it's so good. It is definitely
No, it wasn't that.
Go ahead.
I fully don't understand it. I might have to rewatch it again. Just sort of really get it to sink in. But it was interesting, that's for sure.
I will say that it is one of those movie adaptations that it stuck very true to the comic books. I doubt we would ever see Guy Fawkes, or V. It's Guy Fawkes mask, but V is his name.
Yeah.
In HeroClix form, it would be really cool, but it'll never happen.
Probably not, yeah.
So we have got so much news. So many figures dropped all at the same time. We both went and saw Thor, which was fantastic.
Yes, amazing.
We will definitely get into more of that later on in the show. We've got some segments lined up for this show. We are going to go back and give you guys a hidden gem. We're also going to go take a trip down to the value corner. So let's just delve into this stuff. Starting with Harley Quinn, man, we got a dump full of figures that we're going to go through with you guys. So let's start off with Kirk DePaul Manhunter, which is 3B Prime. So it's the common Prime. Real name Kirk DePaul. Range 5, coming in at 65 points. We have the Secret Society of Supervillains and Assassin keywords. This guy is 6 clicks long for 65 points, so that's pretty good, pretty decent. But his stats are what is kind of, pretty good about this guy. He starts top dial with 8 speed with sidestep, 12 attack with precision strike, 17 defense with toughness, and 2 damage with a special damage power that's called No One Should Have to Live an Unwanted Legacy. Modify damage by +1 when targeting only opposing characters with the same name as another character on the map. So that's kind of cool. It's situational as all get out, but whatever. Could come in handy. He has a trait. It says talent, training, and genetic design. Free. Choose. Close combat expert, combat reflexes, or range combat expert, and energy shield deflection. Kirk DePaul can use the chosen powers until your next turn. So that's even better. 17 defense is going to be 19 defense at basically all times, and unless you forget to choose. But yeah,
since it's free, it's not the beginning of the turn. It's like any time you want, you can choose it, which is pretty helpful.
Yeah, that's good. But with those random turns where you're just like, oh, I clear, your turn. Man, I forgot to pick one. So don't fall into that trap. But overall, what do you think about this figure?
I think he is awesome. He has a steady 2 damage and a steady 17 defense all the way through, which is pretty great. And his trait just makes him work all kinds of wonderful.
I have no idea who this guy is, but he.
Oh, neither do I.
He's good. So this is a good figure for 65 points. A little lacking on the keywords, but whatever. He does pick up 2 clicks of regen, 2 clicks of blades on the last 2 clicks of his dial. Other than that, there's your Kirk DePaul. Moving on. Take it away.
Yeah, just to try to run through these, we have Harley Quinn, the bombshell version, number 17. She has no special combat symbols, for range, 75 points. She's got bombshells in Gotham City. She has the bombshell trait like everybody else, and this figure is actually a lot simpler. She only has one special power that she has for her top 2 clicks when she has a 12 movement, Quake, Super Senses, and Perplex. Identical top 2 clicks, that's 12, 10, 17, and 2. And her special movement power is just charge and flight, riding the bomb. So it's like a big charge Quake opening. After that, she just has a bunch of flurry, precision, poison, and then combat reflexes and some outwit. Their dial. Pretty basic Harley Quinn there.
Yeah, very
but also
standard.
kind of flavor. Yep.
But I would say that 75 points for what you get here. It's 6 clicks long. I'm not really digging it, but the Perplex and the Outwit are definitely going to help.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's not a single empty slot on her dial either. It is packed with powers.
Mm-hmm. Okay, trucking along. We got the Bombshell Poison Ivy, 18, following right on the tails of the previous Harley Quinn. 6 range, 50 points, Bombshell, Scientist keywords. She is 5 clicks long. She is naked attack for the first 3 clicks and then 2 of incapacitate, but she does have a special speed power for the first 3 clicks. It's called, they have the trait symbol here on HC Realms. So I'm guessing
they do.
Instead of the speed symbol, I'm guessing this is it. So plant power, mind control. When Poison Ivy uses it, she has 2 bolts, and after resolution, she may remove up to 2 bombshell tokens to give an equal number of action tokens to her hit target. I feel like that could be really cool.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
For locking down.
Make him smack your buddy and lock him down next turn? That's pretty sweet.
And especially, remember, the Zatanna in this set can freely move around those bombshell tokens, which obviously she has the bombshell trait as well, so she can get her own bombshell tokens. She also has 17 defense with super senses and 1 damage with shape change. So, yeah, both of those on this 50-point figure that's going to mind control people at a fairly regular basis, and then immediately tie them up. I think she's really, really good for 50 points. This is a solid 50-point figure.
Oh, she's an amazing fill for a bombshell team.
Yep. All right. What you like her?
No, I really like her. Shape change super senses, that's never good. So why do you even have that?
Let's go.
So next up we have Bud. He's number 19A. So I'd only assume that Lou is 19B. I hope. I don't know.
Maybe.
That's what they're gonna do.
It's weird that they made a prime. Is it a prime, or is it just
I think it's just like what they did in Shield, like the Shield set or whatever. They said like AB figures.
It might be.
That's what I hope it is. It would really suck if Lou was a prime. It would just be weird. So, but I always thought they were going to make these guys Pogs, so I'm pretty happy they're actually figures. So he's 25 points, animal keywords, standard symbols, 3-click dial. His speed is 7 all the way through with nothing. His attack is blades all the way through, and that goes 10, 9, 9. His defense is 16 all the way through. With super senses, damage is 2 all the way through with a special damage power. And here's his trait. First, during force construction, Bud gains the keywords on that starting force named Harley Quinn. Sidestep, but only if a friendly character named Harley Quinn has moved this turn, so obviously plays old Harley. And then his damage power that he has through his entire thing is likes to play pranks, probability control, but only during an opponent's turn.
I think that they're hyenas. Bud and is it?
Oh
Lou?
yeah,
they're hyenas.
I'm pretty sure.
And probably most people's interaction or knowing of these guys came from the '90s cartoon with the animated Batman series, and the name of the trait is "Come here, boys." So I can only in my head hear that as Harley Quinn saying it in that accent. So I think this is pretty fun. It's like a nice little supplemental figure to Harley Quinn.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go to number 20, Catwoman. Range 3, 55 points. Bombshells, Gotham City keyword. Obviously, she has the bombshell trait. She has standard symbols. She does have improved movement, ignores hindering, which is good, because she has stealth, which is fantastic. I've always been of the mind that since they made the idea of ignores hindering, they should just include that in the power of stealth. There should not be a character with stealth that can't move through hindering, but that's just me.
It's super annoying. Yeah.
Bombshell trait, she has stealth, precision strike with 10 attack, a special defense power called more secretive than you can imagine. Super senses. When Catwoman uses it before rolling the d6, she may remove up to 2 bombshell tokens to increase the result by 1 for each token removed. So that's really cool. I mean, if you just really need to try and get out of an attack that they're throwing at you, you can. Hey, you roll it's going to be a 3 or better, so it's a 50% chance. No, that's not math. That's better than 50% chance. It's a 66% chance. So she has Outwit with 2 damage. She goes from Precision Strike onto Blades and some Leap and Climb, some Super Senses, and when she trades out that Outwit, she gets Perplex. So that's another one of these bombshells that has Perplex Outwit. There's going to be a lot of bombshells with shenanigans stuff.
I like that the bombshells not only have good support powers, but they're also decent attackers all in themselves. So it's pretty sweet.
Between having Precision Strike everywhere and let's see. Well, we covered Mara and we covered so they can all do damage. Yeah. It's good.
All right, so next up, Big Barda. This is actually the Prime, so she's 23B. So I assume there's either a normal Barda or Granny something. I don't know, who knows. They probably actually already have it listed, but I'll just go over. She has the team ability Justice League, 4 range, 100 points, Apocalypse, Birds of Prey, and Justice League keyword. Only special combat symbol is Flight. She has a special attack and a special damage power. Personal Boom Tube for her... Oh, I supposed to say attack. I meant speed power. Phasing Teleport. When Barda uses it, after resolutions, you may roll a d6. If the result is greater than the squares she moved, make an attack. That is different from most Boom Tube powers. Normally it's phasing, half your speed, make an attack. This one, it's maybe get to make it. So the shorter you move, the more you'll probably guarantee you get to make an attack, which is very interesting.
Yeah. And
then she has a special damage power for first 4 clicks, coordinated attack, and power, but instead it affects friendly characters within 3 squares. That is really sweet, since you're not always going to bunch up all on one person. If you want to base a bunch of different people, she can affect and power 3 squares. Pretty sweet aura effect she has.
I'm surprised this is the first time we're seeing that kind of power.
Yeah, that is true. It's taken a while to think outside the box of using it with Empower or Enhancement. So she has 11 attack. She has basically the same top 2 clicks, 11 attack, super strength, 18 defense, invincible. And then she moves on to some sidestep with Pen Blast and Impervious, and then some sidestep, close combat, expert down dial. Amazing damage potential. Goes down to a 3, but for those 2 clicks, she has a 3. She has close combat expert, and there's 2 clicks of 3 where she has super strength or Pen Blast. And then her attack kind of hitters down to a 9 at the end of it. Not a bad Barda.
No, not really. And the last time we got Barda was, how long ago?
Was it Streets of Gotham, or was it something like that?
It's been too long, I can tell you
it's been years.
I actually like Big Barda as a character, so anytime they want to click her, I'm all for it.
For sure.
All right, moving on to probably the only vampire dial that will make its appearance in this set, number 37, Batgirl. Barbara Gordon, 5 range, 75 points. Keywords are Bombshell, Suicide Squad, Monster. She has a Bombshell trait. She also has a trait that is Bloody Bell of the Bog, Steel Energy, and Stealth. Batgirl starts the game on click number 3. When she uses Steel Energy, she may heal past her starting line, so typical vampire dial. Now, for 75 points, I kind of believe that this might actually activate. Because you've seen vampire dials in the past where they just didn't have the ability to get up and do damage to make it onto those clicks unless they got really lucky, right? Yeah. Well, this Batgirl has hypersonic speed on her quote-unquote top click, right? So 9 speed with 11 attack and precision strike. I'm going to go ahead and guess that she's going to make it past that starting line. And so she has a 17 defense. It has a special defense power. It says Super Senses. When attacked by a character with the wing symbol, modify Batgirl's defense by +3, which is so random. It's called WW1 Flying Ace, so she's like some kind of fighter pilot, I guess. So 20 defense versus range, which is fantastic. And then when she gets up on you, she's probably going to hit you. And then
not just range, it's any time they have a flight symbol.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It just says one attack. So, yeah.
So it is a 4-click dial if you don't hit anybody for 75 points, which that's kind of maybe. But it's 4 clicks of hypersonic, 4 clicks of precision strike, 4 clicks of that special defensive power. Nothing on her first 2 clicks of damage, but she has perplex on her last 2. Now, when she goes into vampire mode, she goes into exactly what you would think a vampire mode is. It's charge, blades, impervious, and exploit with really good stats. So, yeah, that's the only way to get her a damage reducer is to make sure you hit somebody first. So keep that in mind. But I think for 75 points, this is probably going to work.
This is probably one of the better vampire dials, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I think you're at least getting to that first click. I feel like just between hypersonic and precision strike, you are probably going to heal up to her next, at least one past her starting line. And I think that in itself is worth 75 points. Unless you just totally get bombarded right away, there's a really solid chance. There's way less risk with this vampire dial than there are with some others.
Yeah, and she does have, so clicks number 1 and 2, when she has exploit, she has 4 printed damage on those. She has 12 attack and an 11 attack on those. So with the change of how Blades actually works, it's not that horrible if you roll really badly, because I mean, even if you do, she's going to be doing a minimum of 3 damage exploited.
3, yeah.
So that's 3 damage exploited from a 75-point figure. That's still really good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good stuff.
She looks just super fun to play, especially with all the other bombshells, which is amazing. So let's see. Next up is Bernadette. She has 0 range, team ability, Superman enemy, 50 points, Apocalypse, Female Furies, and Assassin keywords. No special combat symbols, 1 trait, and a special attack power for first 3 clicks. Trait is Will of Apocalypse. When Bernadette hits until your next turn, she has protected Outwit, Opposing Perplex, Exploit Weakness, and Penetrating Psychic Blast. That is an amazing trait.
I love that trait.
If she had a damage reducer top dial, but okay, that still will help later dial, I guess. And then her special attack bar she has for her top 3 is Poison. When Bernadette uses it, it deals penetrating damage to opposing characters with action tokens.
Which is like
very awesome.
Very often that will trigger.
Yep. More times than not, they'll have action tokens on.
Yeah.
She has 10 stealth, 10 attack with special attack power, 17 defense, combat reflexes, and 3 damage exploit. Similar top 3 clicks, and then she goes charge, blades, toughness for her last 2 clicks. What do you think, Chris?
I think that for 50 points, she's absolutely worth 50 points. I know that there are not a lot of Apocalypse figures out there to begin with, so keywords, if you're the kind of player that likes to collect Apocalypse keyworded figures, this is a good figure because not only do you get a brand new figure, but it's only 50 points. And you know most dark sides are all going to be like 200, 300.
300, yeah.
Yeah, like that. So it's nicer to have a little bit like of a filler piece. So, all right.
Sure.
Moving on to our next Prime figure, number 43, Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn gets, a Yellow Lantern ring in this figure. So 5 range. 100 points, Arkham Asylum, and Sinestro Corpse keyword. She has, 7 clicks of life. She's interesting, I'll say that. She has a trait, she has 1 special combat symbol, and that's flight, which you would expect because she has a ring. She has trait, it's called Fear of Madness. Perplex, but only to modify a combat value by -1. When Harley Quinn uses it, choose close or range. Unless it's the only character on an opponent's force, the target can't make that kind of attack until your next turn. So that's awesome. Like, that's a really good trait as long as they have more than 1 character. You can basically lock down a character on their turn just by perplexing them down. So, and because Perplex stays now, you can perplex down their defense, hit them, and it'll still stick around, and they still can't hit you back next turn, so that's pretty cool. She has hypersonic speed with 10, 11 attack with a special attack power. It's called Ya Afraid of Spiked Boxing Gloves? That is so Harley Quinn to have spiked boxing gloves. That's her construct that she makes. It gives her knockback. Knockback damage dealt due to Harley Quinn's attack is increased by 1. That's less impressive than the trait is, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
She has 17 defense with toughness. This is probably one of the only Harley Quinns with a reducer that you will find. and she has, of all powers, 3 damage with, what's that one? Not Empower.
Enhancement?
Enhancement, thank
Enhancement.
you. I don't know how I feel about this figure. It doesn't seem prime level to me.
I want to know what the 43A is. If that's like a different Harley Quinn with a ring, or if it's like Jessica Cruz or whoever it might be.
So those first 4 clicks are about the same. She switches enhancement out for exploit weakness. But then clicks 5, 6, and 7, she goes kind of into a running shot, pulse wave, energy shield deflection figure. Decent stats, not great, but pretty decent. 100 points, I don't know. I don't know who's going to want to pull this. If I bought this brick and this is the prime that I pulled instead of getting like one of these really awesome chases, I'd be pretty upset.
Yeah, I agree. But in the end, she should add a little bit of flavor to a Sinestro Corps team, at least.
Yep, there you go. With those spiked boxing gloves.
The nicest thing I can say.
Okay.
All right, so moving on we're moving to super rares here. We got 051 Supergirl. She has the Superman allied team ability like you'd expect from a super person. Range is 7. She has 2 starting lines, 160 and 130. Keywords, bombshells, Kryptonian, and soldier. She has flight and indomitable, which are special combat symbols. 2 traits, one's the bombshells, of course, and the second is protect my sister. Adjacent friendly characters named Stargirl. So that like weird. Or with the bombshells. Yeah, English. So friendly characters named Stargirl or with the bombshells keyword can use super senses. Now all your bombshells have super senses if they're next to Supergirl. Amazing.
That's really cool.
It actually really is. So her 160, she has 12 hypersonic, 11 attack super strength, 18 again, hypersonic super strength. You'd think they would stop printing it since they don't work together, but whatever. 18 defense invincible, and 4 damage leadership. Her second click is basically the same, but her defense and damage powers go down by 1. And she doesn't have leadership on her 130 dial at all, but she does have a 11 movement, hypersonic speed, 12 attack super strength, 17 defense invincible, and 4 damage. After she kind of loses the whole run-up hypersonic charge super strength thing, she has 2 random clicks of running shot, penetrating psychic blast. She has invincible, 1 click of impervious, some invulnerability, and then some toughness kind of thrown in there. Not a bad, tank piece for your bombshells anyways.
She's very much your typical Supergirl dial, but it's really those traits that make her pop as a character.
Very true.
They're good stuff. Especially if you're going to be using your Zatanna and throwing bombshell tokens on the Supergirl. That way she can make free attacks.
For sure.
That's going to be awesome. So even if you have your super strength, right? You hypersonic speed up, just stay right next to him. Attack him with the hypersonic speed, and then use Zatanna to use the heavy object on him. So you'll be swinging for 4 and then for 6. So that's
absolutely
pretty cool.
That'd be a rough 1-2 punch right there.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. So back in the vein of the Apocalypse keyword, we have Lashina. Real name's unknown, in case you were wondering, because I'm sure that they're going to print a card that work with her. Range is 5 with double bolts, 75 points on keywords. She also has a Female Furies, Suicide Squad, and Soldier keywords. She does have the Will of Apocalypse trait, just as mentioned prior, the really good one. And she has another trait that says, where do you think you're going? Plasticity, Giant Reach 3. Opposing characters within 3 squares and line of fire treat Lashina as adjacent when moving. This is fantastic. You cannot charge her or hypersonic speed her with a close attack unless you have some giant reach or something. But yeah, that's pretty sweet. She just stops everybody where they're when they're moving. She has sidestep with 10 speed, 10 attack with a special attack power called Kiss of the Lash. Precision strike. When Lashina hits with a close attack after resolutions, give the target an action token. So it's not like you aren't bogging them down enough with that trait. Let's put action tokens on people too. 18 defense.
Why not?
Yeah, right. 18 defense with a super senses, 3 damage with a special damage power called We Are the Wrath of Darkseid, given form. Leadership. When Lashina uses it and succeeds, adjacent friendly characters with the female Furies keyword can use colossal stamina this turn. That's cool.
Nice.
So I'm really hoping. Granny Goodness, I'm pretty sure, is in this set, and I don't know if there are any other Apocalypse keyworded figures, but this looks really cool. I don't think that we have seen an actual Apocalypse in this set, which is odd. Did you see that? Like looking through the figures?
Nope.
So
no Darkseid or any Parademons or anything else from Apocalypse.
So that's a little weird, right?
I would, yeah.
There are a couple of still missing pieces in the set. Number 50 in the set is still unknown, so like maybe that could be, maybe
it's a wicked crazy Darkseid all of a sudden. That'd be interesting.
Granny Goodness is number 46, by the way.
Okay.
So there's that. I don't know too much about Apocalypse, but I've always really liked the idea of Apocalypse figures. So I don't know. Maybe we'll get lucky. We'll see.
So. Have you seen Lashina's sculpt though?
Yes, it looks so good.
It looks really cool. Yeah.
It's very cool. It's you wouldn't think that somebody with like a couple of whips or lashes would look cool, but she really does. The rest of the figure is kind of bland. She's 6 clicks long. The first 3 kind of look the same. The last 3 look the same as each other. Flurry, blades, and close combat reflexes. Nothing on damage. So 75 points. I think she's really cool. I think she's really fun. Those traits alone are worth playing. So I would give her a try.
For sure. All right. Right along. Harley and Ivy duo. Woohoo! I mean, people probably already assume this is going to be in the set. Real name, Harley Quinzel and Pamela Izzy. They have Calculator and Batman enemy team abilities, 6 range, 2 bolts, 125 points. Arkham Asylum, Gotham City Sirens, Gotham City Underworld, and Scientist. They have 1 special, and that is, Indomitable for combat symbols. They've got a couple of special powers. 1, Improved Movement, ignore Cindering. Their first special power is on their first 2 and last 2 clicks. They have, 8 clicks of life, and it's their movement, which is Girls Let Out, Sidestep, and Stealth. Then also on their first 3 and then last 2 clicks is their special attack power, the Toxic Twosome.
That's such a stupid name.
It's so stupid. In-cap, Poison, and Smoke Cloud. Harley and Ivy, they have Protected Poison, and they can use in-cap as free, but only to target opposing characters occupying their Smoke Cloud marker. Which is actually pretty sweet.
It's kind of cool. You know what it reminds me of, in a way, but just not as good? Do you remember the BioShock set? And then there was the duo of
Booker and Liz?
Yeah, and Booker and Liz. And you could throw out Smoke Cloud, but they were like the murder of crows. And then you could do damage, just penetrating damage to people inside the Smoke Cloud. It's like that, just not as good.
Interesting. Huh.
It's also
I think
one
I
of my
played
favorite
against that
figures in
figure
the
like
entire game.
once. Oh, sweet. And then, so when they had those, for the first 2 and for the last 2, they have also Super Senses and Perplex on their first 2 clicks, and then when they had that same power set up on their last 2 clicks, it's Super Senses and Outwit. In the middle, it's Sidestep, Precision Strike, Combat Reflexes, and then 4 clicks of the special damage power. Set them up for me, Red. Harley and Ivy, when they attack a single opposing character, modify the attacking damage value by +1 for each action token the target has. That's actually really good, since they normally have 2 damage and 10 attack for all those clicks. Not a bad duo.
No, it's not, and the attack is very consistent on the whole dial anyway. It never drops below a 10.
11, 10 to 10, 11, 12, yeah.
I think it's a solid super rare. It's okay. And because it has a couple of these keywords that are good for, like Arkham Asylum is a fantastic keyword that I wish they would make more of. And then Gotham City Underworld is another one that you can play around with. So, yeah, they're pretty cool. I like them. Let's get on to the really awesome stuff of this set, though. We very firmly know now that the chases are the Darkseid War. We don't have all of them. We don't know what all of them are, I don't think. Not yet, anyway. But chances are we're going to get a Batman and a Superman as well. But what we did get, let's start with... Did we cover Shazam?
No, we did not. Talked about him,
Okay.
but we did not talk about him on air yet.
Okay, Shazam, God of Gods is his name. He has the Mystics and Quintessence team abilities, 6 range, 200 points, Justice League keyword, deity, mystical, ruler. 2 traits. The first one is God of Gods. Opposing characters within 6 squares and lower points can't use probability control. Second trait is Everything You Knew, Gone. Shazam, God of Gods, has protected from the Mystics team ability. And let's see, he has 1 special attack power, which is Shazam. He has Pulse Wave. When Shazam, God of Gods, uses it, he has Knockback, which I guess is okay. Stats-wise, this guy is pretty good. He's just a little vanilla. So we have 1 special combat symbol, and that's going to be your flight ability, just as every Shazam should have. You have 10 speed with running shot, 11 attack with that special attack power for the first 2 clicks, 18 defense with invincible for the first 3, naked on damage for the first 5 clicks of his 8-click long dial. So he's very much a ranged base Shazam. There's nowhere on this dial where it even looks like he wants to do close combat. It goes from that special attack power into Pinsai, back into that special attack power, and then naked. Running shot to sidestep to phasing teleport. Invincible to invulnerable to defend, of all things. And he also gets probability control on the last 3 clicks of his dial. So I don't think that this figure is worth 200 points, but the sculpt is really cool. And I just like the idea of the chases being from the Darkseid War.
Absolutely. This is a very odd Shazam. Like, he has protected Mystics, but for the first 3 clicks he is invincible, which sort of protects him from that anyway, but okay.
Yep. So literally only 5 of his 8 clicks are protected.
Are useful for his trait.
For that
yeah.
trait. Whatever.
Weird. Moving right along. I'm happy it worked out when we chose these styles. I get to talk about Lex Luthor, God of Apocalypse. Lex Luthor's my man. Love sexy Lexi. So he's got Quintessence team ability just like Shazam. He's got 8 range, 1 bolt. He's 250 points, so he's 50 more points than Shazam. Let's hope he hits it home. He has Apocalypse, Justice League, Deity, Ruler, and Scientist keywords. A nice plethora of keywords for Lex to have. He has improved targeting, hindering, and characters. He has the trait God of Apocalypse. Opposing characters in 6 squares and lower points cannot reduce damage by more than 1. That is awesome.
That is.
And then, so he has a special speed power for his first 2 and last 2 clicks. He has a 8-click long dial. The Omega Judgment. Running shot. When Lex Luthor, God of Apocalypse, hits with a range attack, after resolutions, he may use telekinesis at no cost to target a hit character. That is also really awesome.
That is so cool.
And then for his first 3 clicks, he has a special defense power, which is Invincible and Mastermind. So when he has his Omega Judgment, his running shot, he has Penetrating Psychic Blast, a 12 and an 11 on his first 2, and then a 10-10 on his last 2. He has 5 damage outwit, and then after his first 2 clicks, he goes into a sidestep, super strength, invulnerability, close combat expert, where it goes 4-4, 3-3. Insane damage output right there. And then his last 2, he gets toughness and outwit again with the Pen Blast and the special Omega Judgment power. I said, this may be the only reason I might buy any of this set, is to hopefully pull this chase or pull another chase to get this chase. I absolutely love this guy.
That this, from what I'm seeing, and just because a lot of people happen to really like that storyline, even my brother was like, man, why does DC always want to take my money? I don't want anything in any of the sets almost ever except for the chases. And I'm like, well, sorry.
Yep. It's tough. So it's just like, it basically gives everybody toughness. I'm sorry, I love that trait so much. It's so awesome. Very excited for this.
No, this is a very solid figure. It's very good. The sculpt is really cool.
His skin's all gray.
Yeah, there's not a lot of dynamicness, that's probably not a word, going on in the sculpt, but at least it's not Lex Luthor in another metal suit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very true.
He looks different than what he normally does. Okay, last chase that we have information on is going to be Wonder Woman, number 67. She has a trait says always been a goddess of truth. I just want to point that out because all of the chases so far mention the idea of them being gods. So Shazam's god of gods, Lex Luthor is god of apocalypse, and she's always been a goddess of truth. 125 points, no team affiliation. She has the Amazon, Justice League, and Deity keywords. So I also just want to point out, you can run the chases on a named theme team so far. They're all Justice League. But we have 9 speed with charge, 12 attack with a special attack power, and I'll get into that in a second because I want to talk about the trait, the really cool trait. She has Indom, I forgot to mention that, 18 defense with impervious, and 4 damage with exploit. So the Goddess of Truth, opposing characters within 6 squares and lower points can't use Outwit, which is good because unlike the other 2 that were just mentioned, she does not have the Quintessence team ability. We have another trait, this is the cool one, called Never Give Up. When a friendly character of 50 points or more is KO'd, give her a determination token. When Wonder Woman would be KO'd, if she has 1 or more determination tokens, instead turn her to click number 8, that's the last click for dial, and then remove all determination tokens and heal her that many clicks. This character will be so fun to play in high point games. Stats-wise, she's doing really well. She's not the best Wonder Woman ever made, but you basically, if the rest of your team is dying, Wonder Woman gets extra clicks of life, which is fantastic. So to get into her stats, she does have a special attack power. Let me mention that real quick. Caught between a dark god and an anti-god. Modify damage +2 when attacking only characters with the deity keyword, which there have been a lot of those made recently. Opposing characters with the deity keyword modify damage -2 when attacking Wonder Woman. Which means if someone just happens to have the deity keyword and they're attacking Wonder Woman, they are going to minimum have to do 5 damage in order to do 1 damage to Wonder Woman. Which is awesome. Let's see. Attack goes 12-12, 11-11-11, 10-10-9. Defense is actually really solid. 18-18-18, 18-17-17, 18-18. That was just fun to say. 3 clicks of exploit, 3 clicks of close combat expert, 2 clicks of battle fury. So I think she's 100% worth 125 points based almost solely off the never give up trait. But then also the shutting down of Outwit is fantastic. She's got Indom because she's Wonder Woman, as every Wonder Woman should probably have Indom. This is a very good piece. And
she's amazing. I perfectly agree with you.
I think that these chases are going to fetch quite a bit of money on the secondary market.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, I think they're going to sell the set, to be completely honest with you.
The rest of the set's not bad. Like, we've covered a lot of these figures and stats-wise and everything. And the bombshells are all mostly all good. We haven't seen the weird stuff in the set, like there's a Prometheus, a Kite Man, Dr. Midnight. But
there's a Kite Man. Yes. Thank you. Hell yeah.
Number 44, Kite Man. There's some other stuff in the set that I'm kind of interested in seeing. They're remaking a Red Tornado.
That's cool.
The Big Barda Prime, the other one is just named Big Barda that we know about. There is a new Scandal Savage. I don't know who that is. Oh, it does say 19A is Bud and 19B is Lou. Yep, you were right.
Oh, sweet.
So I guess we'll see. I think that this is going to be a decent set. So I know before I was complaining just because it was a Harley Quinn set. But I also just want to point out, have you noticed that out of all of the figures that we thought were really good, not one of them has been Harley Quinn?
That is true.
They're all the other figures of the set that are the really good figures.
Pretty much. There's a lot of Harley Quinn in this set, and I'm probably going to be most interested in seeing what the Harley Quinn title character does.
Yeah, that'll be
probably.
You know what? I bet that's number 50, the one that we're missing?
No, I think it's 49 because it says with ropes and chocolate and ropes. So I assume that's like, I don't know how chocolate and rope means your title character, but sure, she has chocolate and rope. 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move on. We have so many figures to get through. We also got all of the spoiled dials for the away team, Star Trek. Captain Kirk, Mr. Spock, Mr. Scott, Mr. McCoy, Lieutenant Uhura, Lieutenant Sulu. So that right there, reading that out loud, made somebody happy. I know it did.
Oh, yeah.
Once again, these are going to be modern legal. So hopefully there's some stuff in here that you guys want to use. Kalder, you want to start us off with Captain Kirk?
Yes, I do, Mr. Britain. So he has a trait, no special anything else, just one trait for Captain Kirk. He also has Starfleet and Soldiers, so new keyword, Starfleet there. The trait is Corbinite Maneuver, I hope I said that right. If Captain Kirk is the only character on your force and would be KO'd, specifically, roll a d6 on a 5 or 6, deal each opposing character 2 penetrating damage. That's not within range of line of fire, that's just each opposing character, 2 penetrating damage. If this KOs all opposing characters, turn Captain Kirk to click 5 instead of KOing him. He also has protected pulse wave, so that helps him out the entire time.
That's such a fun trait.
That is absolutely insane. So
each opposing character, and they don't have to be adjacent to him or anything, just on the map.
Yep. So I'll just go over. Everybody probably has this team ability. It's the United Federation of Planets. It's basically Avengers and Justice League. They modify their speed value by +1. And he has a fairly simple dial. He has 6 range. He has 8 movement, running shot, 11 attack. Totally bland of the entire dial. He has 18 defense with willpower and 2 damage with leadership. Then he goes to charge, close combat expert, flurry with more willpower, and then he has 1 click of outwit at the very end. Not chess, Mr. Spock. Poker. That's the coolest name for outwit ever.
You know what I really like? The significant appearance spells out why he has the trait that he has. It says Star Trek,
yes.
The original series, the Corbomite maneuver, Season 1, Episode 10, Production Code 3. It's 4 lines of text that they put as the significant appearance.
It is awesome.
Okay. So, overall for 50 points, you like him or not?
Oh, I love him. Yeah. I think it's cool. I haven't even seen Star Trek. I think this is awesome.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. All right, let's move on to Mr. Spock. Starfleet Vulcan Scientist keywords, also coming in at 50 points. 1 trait, no special powers. I have analyzed their tactics, Captain. Unique modifier. Friendly characters that are adjacent or have the Starfleet keyword modify attack by +1. So obviously, like they all have the Starfleet keyword. So as long as he's on the map, they all have +1 attack. I think it's funny that he has the Vulcan keyword. So do you think that that's something they're really going to push in the future?
Yeah, I guess so. They're going to have a couple more Vulcans in the set. That'll be interesting.
Okay, he does have the United Federation of Planets team ability. His stats look like this. He does have Indom. It's his only special combat symbol. 6 range, 2 sidestep, 2 pin psi. He has 17 defense with energy shield deflection. He's 5 clicks long. He has 2 clicks of charge, 2 clicks of toughness after that with 3 damage instead of 2. So it bumps up just a little bit so you can still get through reducers. And then last click, he has sidestep with regen, but because they changed the rules, you can't regen to top dial anymore.
But that's not too bad since he has identical first 2 clicks.
His significant appearance is Season 1, Episode 24. Okay, whatever. I also his regen power is called I believe no permanent damage was done. So I like Mr.
The powers
Spock.
are so yeah, these are awesome. I love the names of all the powers. They're like a lot of text for like each power for each name on all these clicks, and you guys should go through them definitely. So next up is Mr. Scott. He's got Starfleet keyword, 1 trait, the United Federation of Planets team ability, like normal. His trait is pretty much like Spock's, except it modifies damage value. So, from the character with the Starfleet keyword is adjacent, modify damage value by +1. He has 5 range. He's got only 9 attack top dial, which is kind of lame. But he has running shot, willpower, and top click. No special damage or attack power. Then he moves on to some sidestep, energy explosion, gets toughness and charge, and was telekinesis. Telekinesis later dial.
That's interesting.
Beam me up, Scotty. It is interesting.
Beam me up, Scotty. It should be noted that all of these they stack. All of the traits stack. They affect different slots or different places on the dial.
Yeah.
And they work on themselves too, because it just says friendly characters that and I'm skipping ahead, have the Starfleet keyword. So Spock really doesn't have 10 attack. He has 11 attack. This is pretty cool. Dr. McCoy is going to be the next figure, also 50 points. Trait, you're going to get us all killed, Jim. Friendly, unique modifier, friendly characters that are adjacent or have the Starfleet keyword modified defense by +1, which means that Captain Kirk has 19 defense, top dial for a 50-point character. Just saying. All right, so this is exactly what you would think out of Dr. McCoy. He has support. He has sidestep the whole dial, 10 attack for the first 3 clicks, 9 for the next 2. Willpower, which is fantastic. And then he has 4 clicks of defend, 1 damage with support the whole dial. This is a solid support figure.
Yep.
Maybe a tiny bit overcosted because I'm just spoiled by Jane Foster now, I think. Moira McTaggart, but I mean, he gives all of your team +1 defense too, so that's really good.
And I mean, they're all 50. I mean, they could have at least given him like 10 attack all the way through to help a little bit more worth it, but he still has a 15 defense defend to make up for it. So really, he's pretty solid. Maybe not totally 50 points, but he's solid.
I mean, I don't think there's going to be a situation where people don't play these figures on this team. So it's it's almost like all the stats are always going to be boosted.
For sure.
So
next up's Lieutenant Uhura. Patching you to all personnel is her trait, unique modifier from the characters that are adjacent or is it adjacent or? Oh yeah, it is. Or had the Starfleet keyword, modify range by +1, so that's the stat she gets to bump up. And then she has stealth and willpower and perplex for her top 2 clicks. Then she moves on to sidestep, super senses, enhancement, and then her last click she has stealth, willpower, and enhancement. Pretty basic, really just a support piece.
Yeah, good support piece. 7, so basically 7 range and 3 damage and 10 attack from all the other boosts.
Yeah, all the other boosts kind of makes everybody in this a solid little secondary, their own little mini attacker in their own right.
You know what? I'm just going to throw this out here. Good job, WizKids. This is what a Fast Forces should look like. Synergy, the team is supposed to be played together, the dials all look... I mean, they're easy to build. They're all 50 points, so those newbies that are like, what's that game? Let me buy that. And this is good stuff. Lieutenant Sulu is the last one, and he has one that says, no one is taking me by surprise. Unique modifier, friendly characters, blah, blah, blah. It's the speed stat. +1 to speed. 50 points, 6 range, 8 speed with running shot, 10 attack, 17 defense with willpower, 2 printed damage. He's a little bit weirder of a character. He goes from willpower to super senses and then back to willpower at the end of his dial. He gets these 2 random clicks of empower. Click 3 and 4, and it's the same time that he has precision strike and charge. And then on his last click, he has 1 click of flurry and willpower with 10 attack and 2 damage. This might be probably the least useful of all of the characters in this set, but so I feel bad for Sulu fans out there. But I mean,
somebody had to get the speed.
Yeah,
someone had to get that buff. It just happened to be him.
Yeah. Overall, I think this is a very solid, fantastic set.
This is how a Fast Forces should be. I mean, to be honest, actually, now looking at his speed, since they already had the Federation team ability, they all have a +2 to speed with Sulu on the team. It's actually pretty good. Mm-hmm. But overall, normally a Fast Forces is like a couple of mediocre characters and like 1 really stupid good figure, and it's good to see that this is just a bunch of really nice figures that play perfectly together.
Yeah.
This is the perfect Fast Forces. I mean, it really is.
Good job. Okay, moving on. Our last, I think, 4 characters to cover tonight before we get on to some other stuff. Do you want to start us off on these or me?
Starting off with Shadowcat, right?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Oh, by the way, we should mention that these are X-Men figures. I don't know. I was seeing mixed information on whether these are an OP kit or they're just like randomly released.
They are going through the prizes for the WizKids Opens, I believe.
Okay.
Like the coming winter, fall WizKids Opens that are like this Saturday or last Saturday.
Okay.
Whenever you're hearing this. Whenever your venue has it. So that's what I believe they are. And I think they're also going to have the Colossus ID card also as a prize for these WizKids Opens. So I guess we'll have to run down there and see. So first up is Shadow Cat, Kitty Pryde. She's 75 points, X-Men team ability, like she should have. No special combat symbols. Age of Apocalypse, Generation X, Martial Artist, and X-Men keywords. She has 2 traits. Instructing the Generation Next unique modifier. Adjacent friendly characters that share a named keyword with Shadow Cat modify their attack and defense values by +1. And then another trait is in any timeline, always by Peter's side. Colossus. Friendly characters named Colossus have passenger 1, but only to carry characters named Shadowcat. And then for her, what her normal dial's looking like, she's got a 10 speed, special speed power. She got 10 attack with blades, 18 defense super senses, and then 2 damage exploit weakness. Kind of identical first 2 clicks here. She has her speed power on her first and last 2 clicks of her dial, 6-click dial. Intangible ambush, phasing teleport. When Shadowcat uses phasing teleport and moves 5 squares or less after resolutions, close at no cost. So she moves half her speed, she gets to go ahead and make a close attack.
Through walls.
And then through walls, heck yeah. That is probably the coolest part about Shadowcat. And then after she loses super senses, she gets combat reflexes, she has perplex and outwits, and blades all the way through her dial, some middle clicks of flurry. Not bad for 75 points.
No, not bad. And also, it's just one additional Age of Apocalypse character that they made. So those fans out there of that storyline are going, yes, one more to add to my list. So I want to point something out. This is really weird. She's 006, MP 18006. And then you look at the other 3 figures that they spoiled. It's 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, yeah.
So what happened to 4 and 5? I really don't know.
No idea.
Anyway.
This doesn't make any sense.
Any last words about Shadowcat before we move on?
No, I have nothing else to say.
Okay. No. All right, I'm just going up the list. Forge. This is the first time we've gotten one of him in a really long time. X-Force, X-Factor, X-Men, Mystical, Scientist, keywords. 50 points, I believe. Yep, 50 points. X-Men team ability. He has a trait called Neutralizer. This is a weird trait, by the way. Once per game, when Forge hits with a ranged attack, you may choose that the hit character can't use standard or special powers until it clears action tokens. Once per game? Like, that's not good.
It can be pretty good, actually.
Teach me.
There's some stupid way to break this. So all you need is an in-cap piece and like the Mr. Freeze from the Fast Forces, the other one. Do you know what he does?
No.
Okay, he gives them a frozen token, and then they can't clear action tokens. They have to clear the frozen token first.
Huh.
So potentially you could break this guy. It would take a lot of doing, but that's not a bad trait.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Forge and Mr. Freeze meta 2018. It's coming down for real.
Totally.
Okay, stats-wise, what are we looking at here? Running shot with 8 speed, 10 attack naked, 17 defense with energy shield deflection, and 2 damage with a special power. The Maker. Enhancement, but can use it on other characters within 2 squares instead. So this is the second time, like, another, like, aura enhancement and power type thing, and we just happen to get 2 of them at, like, the exact same time. There's a second part to that damage power. It says once per turn, either outwit or perplex, but only if Forge has 1 or more action tokens. And it puts in parentheses, its effect will stop when he clears action tokens. So what kind of sucks is he doesn't have Empower, and he doesn't have Willpower. So it almost is making you push yourself and take damage just so you can use his special damage power. And his trait, I just don't think is very useful. He has no attack power the entire dial. He has 1 click of running shot, 2 clicks of sidestep, 2 clicks of stealth, 3 clicks of ESD, 2 clicks of willpower. That's when he gets it, is at the end. 3 clicks of that special power, 2 clicks of probability control. I'm glad we got a Forge. I just don't think that this is not the Forge we deserved.
I see what you're saying, Chris. But I think this Forge is stupid good. I really do.
Okay.
I really do. I feel like it may take a little bit of finesse. Let's look at it this way. Say you're running shots up. He doesn't have to do the neutralizer points. It's, you can choose or not. he can get a token, right? And then once he has a token, he can outwit and perplex. And then the next turn, before he clears, if you don't want to push him, you can also outwit and perplex. Use that offensively and not defensively with outwit or perplex. It just makes you be more offensive with the guy. I really like him. I feel like he's going to be really cool to play. I don't think he's like really Forge-like. He should have been able to like choose an attack power or something cool.
If any character deserved a pseudo pick-a-power, it's probably Forge. His mutant power is literally to make anything he wants. You want a ray gun? Fine, done. You want a portal to jump through walls? Sure, done. So, I don't know. This one was a miss for me.
What a shame. So let's talk about probably another really, really, really good figure in this from Black King. He's 100 points, 0 range, no special combat symbols, Hellfire Club, Politician, and Ruler. 1 trait. At the beginning of your turn, if Black King wasn't hit by an opposing character since your last turn, heal him 1 click. So just to go through his top, he has 3 special whatever attack. He has 1, 4. See, I say attacking is the only one he doesn't have. Damage, defense, and speed. So his speed power, these are on his last 2 clicks, is his speed and defense. His speed is charge and flurry. His defense is stop, invincible willpower. And then for his first 3 clicks, when he has sidestep and then like 9 attacks, 16 toughness, this is Sebastian shot. You got to hit him before he really starts going. He has Forceful Leader. He can use Leadership and Outwit, modify his attack and defense value for each action token the Black King has. So really, you're meant to push this guy because he gets better. I mean, that's the way a Black King should play. He just gets better down dial. And having 2 stock clicks with a 11 attack Quake, 4 and 5 damage, sure. And then he also has the automatic healing, so you can afford to play very risky with this guy.
Yeah, I love this figure. I think they did a really good job on Black King. I saw some people online that were like majorly crapping on it. And I'm like, I just don't think you see the potential. As long as you're not getting hit, I mean, you can get hit quite a bit, but those 2 stop clicks are going to be fantastic. And then in those turns where they have to clear action tokens, if they don't plan ahead to like stagger their attacks to make sure that they're hitting them every turn, and they need to clear action tokens, you're like, oh, automatic click of health, thanks.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think he's probably one of the best ones out of this group that we got out of the 4. All right, anything else on him?
Agree. No, just that he's really amazing. Got to pick him up.
Okay. Bishop is a figure that has not been clicked in a really long time, actually. This one is 101 X-Men Future Police keywords. He does have the X-Men and the Police team abilities. He has a trait called Absorb Energy. When Bishop is targeted by a ranged attack, after resolutions, heal him 1 click and remove an action token from him. Keep in mind it says targeted by a ranged attack. It does not need to hit him, which is awesome. He has, no special combat symbols, but he does have a special speed power called From the Past to Change the Future. Phasing Teleport. When Bishop uses it and moves 4 squares or less after resolutions, he may make a ranged attack. So it's kind of the same as Shadowcat a minute ago. Through walls.
Yep, exactly.
Naked attack on his top click, but he does have 17 defense with ESD, which is going to help you not get hit. And I guess it won't really matter on his first click whether he wants to heal. But it may help him clear action tokens, so there's that. That's pretty cool. This is 75 points. I don't know if I mentioned that. He does have Range Combat Expert with 3 printed damage. It kind of sucks you can't use it with the running shot, but whatever. This character's kind of pushable. He goes to running shot, like actual running shot, for the next 2 clicks with Pinsai, 10 attack on both of them, 17 defense on both of them. He switches from ESD to toughness, and he gets probability control now. The next 2 clicks are more like he's shuffling around. Sidestep, no attack, still toughness, back to range combat expert. And then the last click of his 6-click long dial, he gets that special speed power back, 9 attack, 17 defense with regen, and probability control. So unfortunately, you can't use probability control with regen anymore, which I'm kind of upset about. But hey, at least it'll make you make it so that if you don't want to use regen, they attack you. You have 17 defense. You make them prob. They miss. You heal anyway. So there's 2 ways to heal in this figure. It's pretty cool. And it's only a ranged attack, though. But this character is only going to be a ranged. Don't let him get based, otherwise he's going to get stomped.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So, oh my gosh. I can't believe we made it all the way through that.
Yeah, that was insane. I just want to say really quick, Bishop, Black King, and Forge haven't been clicked since Uncanny X-Men. They've been long overdue, all of them. And the last Bishop was like 140 points, and he has not aged very well. So this 75.1 is amazing.
Cool. So some people online were talking about how, I remember this now. They were talking about how they didn't think that they were very good prizes or something like that. And I'm like, 3 of these characters haven't been clicked in forever, and one of them has never been clicked. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. All those X-Men fans out there are finally like, yes, I got my guys back.
Exactly.
All right, anything else you want to say before we move on?
Nope, just that these are some amazing figures.
Okay. We got information for something that I am exceptionally excited about. Release date, obviously this is tentative because it's WizKids, May of 2018. Set name, Avengers Infinity. The solicit I know! Now, my first initial reaction when I heard that, I was like, oh my god, this is going to be based off the Infinity storyline by Hickman. Hickman, right?
Mm.
And I'm like, oh, this is going to be amazing. But then I'm reading through the solicit, and I'm like, this does not sound like any Infinity. So it says,
just sounds like a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
pretty much.
It says Marvel Heroclix Avengers Infinity comes to the tabletop in a whole new way. For the first time ever, Marvel Heroclix Avengers Infinity will contain 4 standard size figures and, get this, a 2x2 clicks-based figure in every booster. What does that even mean?
Booster? Whoa.
Seriously, are they going to be like vehicles, or are they just going to be like, you remember back in the day there was the duo click. It was Batman and Superman, world's finest, and they did not need to be on a 2x2 dial, but they were.
They were on like yeah, they were. That was insane.
Yeah, I think it was a 2x2. So, like the dial.
This says 2x2. Oh, I was thinking like 2x1. This is going to be a 2x. That's going to be huge.
Yeah, how do you?
Wow,
how are they gonna fit that in?
It just registered. I was like, oh, they're going to be like motorcycles or whatever. 2x1. This is 2x2. That's a colossal base.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
in every booster, you will get one of those.
Every booster. I mean, I know they did that before with the Hulkbuster, but I mean, wow.
Right.
Jeez.
And depending on like because it has to go into the booster diagonally, right?
Yeah.
So it can't. The Hulkbuster had just rocks, and it was very not very high.
That was it.
So how are you going to make a very large of a sculpt and fit it into the booster? I'm calling right now that there's going to be a lot of bent over figures.
Oh yes.
It come out of this set. So I guess we'll see. It come May, but the rest of it says, let's see. Discover new characters, both small and large, in this unprecedented release. This set features many classic Avengers like Thor, Hawkeye, and Jack of Hearts.
Yeah, my boy, Jack of Hearts.
As well as many space-centric teams like Infinity Watch featuring Adam Warlock, Drax, and Gamora, Guardians of the Galaxy in their origin stories like Star-Lord and Rocket Raccoon, which I think is super funny. So we're going to get some really ugly costumes because their original costumes were horribly ugly.
They were.
We're getting Space Knights with Javelin and Terminator. I don't know what that means yet, but I'll figure it out. Marvel Heroclix Avengers Infinity travels through space and time to find the most powerful beings in existence. In each booster, look for all-powerful cosmic beings like Eternity and Living Tribunal, which is going to be the first time that they've ever clicked those. How are you going to make some of the most powerful figures in the entire Marvel universe into Heroclix form? They're all going to be like 800 points apiece.
It'd be crazy.
You can also find other characters like Devil Dinosaur and Moon Girl, as well as awesome vehicles like the Spider Buggy.
Spider Buggy. Yes. Some Spider-Man fan somewhere is so incredibly happy.
Okay, so it's going to break down with 12 commons, 1 prime, 12 uncommons, 1 prime, 10 rares, 1 prime, 10 super rares, 1 prime, 6 chases, 10 uncommon 2x2 click space figures, 10 rare 2x2 click space figures, and 5 2x2 click space figures. I noticed they didn't say anything about ID cards in this. So
They did not.
Maybe ID cards are they just wanted to do one for the next X-Men set, and they're just not going to do anything with ID cards anymore. I don't know. But I just Spider Buggy, Living Tribunal.
This is going to be so dumb. I love it.
What? Okay, they did go into the Fast Forces. Includes 6 figures with all new dials, ready to play in many different combinations. The Fast Forces features classic Avengers like Black Panther, Iron Man, and Hawkeye, as well as the Colossal Giant Girl. Is that just
I'm very excited.
Is that like a really random matchup to you?
That is super random, but I believe Black Panther, Iron Man, Hawkeye, and Giant Girl were all part of like the 2005-ish Avengers team.
Okay.
That was like in all those Marvel Adventure books, the ones that like weren't really continuity at all. They were just Marvel Adventures, Avengers, or whatever. So that'll be actually Hawkeye and Black Panther weren't there. Never mind. That's super weird. But I'm really excited for Colossal Giant Girl because I don't think they've made a Giant Girl before, and she was really fun in those books.
Okay. I mean,
and she was like very specifically made for just those.
There's a Dyson token pack, but it does not mention what is going to be on the tokens yet, or what the the symbol on the dice are going to be. That's all the information we've got right now. So.
Oh, we got. Hey, don't leave out the OP kit figure, Kris.
Oh, what is
it?
An
OP kit figure. I have no idea. It just says we got one. Release day organized play kit. 3 copies of one limited edition character. Yeah, it's like whatever.
Okay.
Also some maps. Don't want to leave out the maps.
Yeah. All right. Well, there's that. I guess we'll see. We'll see what comes down the tubes here in the future. This, based off of what I'm seeing here, is just going to be a really weird hodgepodge of a set, and it makes. I guess it's Avengers Infinity because it's the Infinity Watch, not the Infinity storyline. So.
Shh, just let them do whatever they want, Kris. They can do whatever they want.
Take my money.
The money.
So yeah, there's that. Any last words on that?
There's a 2x2 base in every set. Come on, every set, but every single booster, people. So there's no more like oh, this booster's got a Hulk in it because it's heavy. Every booster is going to be stupid heavy, and this set is going to be awesome.
We'll find out, I guess.
They might show me wrong and just be like, no, we're gonna make a horrible set and just hate that guy.
This game is so hit and miss with sets. Sometimes I'm calling it right now, that set's gonna suck. And then, lo and behold, I'm like, oh, okay, this Harley set actually looks pretty decent. And then I'm like, this could be really cool. Or, remember Avengers Assemble? I was like, oh, this is going to be my definitive set. This is the one that I buy, 4 cases of. Then that all got spoiled, and I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll find out. All right, let's move on. We are going to do a segment we haven't done in a while, and that segment is called the Value Corner.
Oh, so starting with me first.
Yeah, I'll start with you. You tell
going down to the corner.
Go down.
The corner.
Take a trip with us. Explain what Value Corner is in case there's new listeners that don't know what it is and you can get into it.
So on Value Corner, I basically choose a figure from past or present, normally a Silver Age, Golden Age style figure. But basically, I try to give you the best bang for your actual physical dollar, best bang for your buck. So I like to choose a really nice, cheap figure that does something kind of special, or at least really good for its points and or price. So basically a very low point or high point figure that you can buy for fairly cheap. I use Cool Stuff as my guide most of the time, and I try to go on there and try to find the cheapest figure for you guys to use. And this is just a recommendation. You can be like, I ain't going to play that garbage, but it is cheap. So at the very least, I'm giving you cheap garbage to play.
Okay, all right.
Think about
Sell me on this figure. What do we got?
So, selling on this figure, he has the Reporter keyword. He's 50 points, 0 range, no special combat symbols. He also has All-Star Squadron. That's going to give you a little bit of a hint of who he is. His first click is not very great. He's 100% a figure you need to push. He has 6 movements, 8 attack, 15 defense, super senses, and 1 damage. I know what you're thinking, Kalder, that's not a good figure. Hear me out. You push him, and he gets 13 speed, hypersonic, 10 attack, nothing, 17 defense, super senses, 2 damage with perplex. You get an incredibly cheap speedster for only 50 points, not even talking about how cheap he is in style. He's 5 clicks. Like I said, 13 speed, hypersonic right now, and he has perplex. So he can either use that for his attack or his damage, or he can be a little bit of a team player and just do whatever he wants.
I'm liking it.
And basically,
So,
he has hypersonic speed for the rest of his clicks. It goes 13, 12, 11, 10. It goes down very gradually. It's 10 attack, then a 9 attack, another 9 attack, then an 8 attack, and he's got a 16 defense after his 17. So 17, 16, 15, 15. Loses super senses on his last click. But he's a very fun figure for very cheap fonts, and I just thought he's very solid. So,
okay,
a little bit of a buy-in.
So we have a 13 speedster harassment piece with Perplex, basically.
Pretty much.
So All-Star Squadron's kind of a little niche keyword, but I know that there's people out there that collect it for sure. So that's pretty cool. All right. I'll tell you, I have no idea who this figure is. So why don't you...
This would be their resident speedster. That would be Johnny Quick.
Okay.
So this is Johnny Quick from the anniversary set, 10th anniversary set.
Oh, going back a ways.
Going back.
Okay. All right. So if I had to guess on how much money I would be shelling out of my pocket to grab this figure, knowing it's that far back, maybe 59 cents.
Even lower, Chris. Even lower.
Wow.
He is 35 cents.
Really?
Yep.
This is one of those pieces, like, I pulled him up since we started talking about it. This is interesting. Have they ever even made another Johnny Quick? There's not one in Joker's Wild.
They probably made one in Trinity War, since they made most of the crime syndicate in that. But I don't know. Kind of depends.
Johnny Quick.
So this is All-Star Squadron specifically, but he does work with the Atomica from that Justice League Trinity War, which is really cool. Modifies both their combat values by +1, which is nice.
Oh, but those
their
are
speed and attack.
two different people, though.
They are two different. Yeah, I know. They're totally different. But I'm just saying, he also works with her. You want it to sort of not be very comic accurate.
Okay, so actually, if you type in Johnny Quick, this is literally the only Johnny Quick.
All-Star Squadron Johnny Quick.
In the entire history of the game. There's 3 other Johnny Quicks, and those are all the Crime Syndicate ones. So, that's interesting. I guess this is definitely one of the, if you collect All-Star Squadron and you play, Golden Age games at home for 50 points, if nothing else, you're going to get some Perplex out of him. That's pretty good. For you say 35 points?
50 points, 35 cents.
35 cents, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
35 cents.
So, he's really easy to round out your All-Star Squadron teams, since they really don't have a ton of speedsters on All-Star Squadron. If you look at all the newest Joker's Wild All-Star Squadron stuff, none of them are speedsters. Okay, well, there's the Flash. If you want to play that guy, whoever he is.
There's 0 speedsters except for the best-known speedster in the history of speedsters. Other than that one,
yeah,
Baron.
Forget about him.
Okay, well, pick him up from Cool Stuff Inc. That's 35 cents. There's no reason not to. Moving on. This is my segment. A segment called Hidden
What's
Gems.
your segment? Hidden Gems.
Hidden Gems. What do we do in Hidden Gem? There's a lot of figures that come out so often nowadays. It feels like they're putting out a set like every month. So there's a lot of hype. There's a lot of hustle and bustle about sets, and then it just kind of falls by the wayside a lot of the time, and no one's talking about any of the figures in the sets anymore other than the extremely meta things like Johnny Thunder and Goblin King and stuff. But there's some gems.
Johnny Thunder, Chris?
Johnny Thunder. Jakeem Thunder.
Jakeem Thunder, there you go.
That's what I meant. But there are a lot of sets out there that there's some really good figures in those sets that no one was really talking about at the time because they were generally overshadowed by things that are in the set that if you go back and look at them now, they're still really good. And keeping with the theme of being all excited about Thor coming out and going and seeing Thor, we decided to go back and look at Thor Dark World 012, number 12, Cronin Stone Man, coming in at 100 points. No special powers, no traits, don't need him. He's amazing. He has 2 special combat symbols. He's Indom. He's also a giant. And man, these stats for 100 points, what he gives you is fantastic. You have 9 speed with charge, 11 attack with super strength, 17 defense with impervious, and he's got battle fury. So, I don't care about your shape change. Consistent damage output all the way across this character. If you include the super strength, so we'll say with a heavy, you're going to do 5, 5, 4, 5 with exploit on these next 2 clicks. 5 and 4, exploited, and then 5 for a 6-click dial. his
Like close combat expert, right?
Yeah, he's got two randomly spaced out close combat experts in there. He's almost got move and attack his whole dial because it goes charge, two things to sidestep, two things to charge, and he's finally naked on the last click. But by the last click, you should be in there by then. I would suspect. Attack is 11, 10, 10, 11, 12, 10. This is just an overall solid figure. The sculpt looks great. They're a generic, so you could play multiple of these on the same team. I've actually played a guy that he came into the shop one time, and he just threw down like 6 of these on the same team, and I was like, oh, man. It was really fun to play against. So that's just one of those ones that I just don't think anybody thinks about anymore, and he still holds up really well, so definitely the definition of just a hidden gem. If you still have one, pull him out of your old discarded clicks. Start playing that sucker again. He's only got the brute and monster keywords, but if you have like 6 of them, just run 6 of them. It'll just be a fun team of just beat sticks. I forgot to mention this. After it was impervious, he does get 2 clicks of invincible and then 3 clicks of toughness. So he's got some staying power, which you would expect.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's a giant stone man.
So even though in Thor the Dark World, Thor, like, just tears him apart, like, instantaneously when he steps up to him, like this little hammer swing, pretty much, and he's gone. But, like, in this, he's staying around. This is why he's Korg for me.
Yeah.
This is Korg.
This is good stuff.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
I'm Korg.
Okay, do you have anything that you want to talk about with this figure or anything from past in the episode before we finally move on?
We spoiled a lot of figures. A lot, everybody. This is like an insane marathon. We're just spoiling a ton of figures. Specifically talking about Korg, though. Oh, see. Cronin Stone Man. I'm only going to think of him as Korg, though. He never drops below a 10. And so he has 3 clicks at 10, and he has 3 clicks where he has an 11 or higher. That one random click at 12, right at 5, is amazing. I mean, seriously. I never even looked at this figure too much when the set came out. I'm going to go buy one right now. Right now. I'm actually going to go right now and buy one.
Okay. All right. Well, we are going to, Calder and I, we've just been super excited to talk about the Thor movie. So we are just going to throw out a huge disclaimer right now that if you do not want anything spoiled from the Thor movie, you're going to go ahead and tune out right now because we're just going to go full delve into it because we just been wanting to talk about it so much. The movie was so good. So
oh, yeah.
If you're tuning out now, thanks for listening. We'll catch you guys next week.
Before they turn out, should I go ahead and say the thing or should we just say it at the end?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Just to make sure. I don't want to leave you guys out of it. Okay, you don't want to miss the Dial H Heroclix. So just a reminder, Dial H for Heroclix is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock every day, including all the latest Heroclix singles and sealed products. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Okay.
Okay, now you guys can leave if you don't want to play. Now you can.
Let's just do this. They've had time. All right.
Thor loses an eye. Just hit him with the hardest one if they didn't leave. There you go. Thor gets his eye ripped out.
Yeah. They changed the freaking trailer.
Yeah.
At that point, there were multiple times in the trailer when I was watching the movie, and I realized that they changed things in the trailer as to not give away the plot line of the movie. And I was like, oh, that was actually probably a really good play.
That was smart. That was so smart. But like a tricky thing to do.
So
smart.
Thor gets his eye ripped out. By the way, I want to go into why I'm so much more disappointed about this freaking Thor set that dropped with the movie or for the movie. Holy cow, this thing is garbage compared to the movie. I don't think that this is an accurate representation of that movie at all. They must not have seen the movie before they made this set. That is the
I don't think they ever see the movie before movie sets, do they? I mean,
I don't know. Because, oh my gosh, this is not a good representation of Hela. Hela was crazy powerful in the movie.
So, what is this Hela? She's mostly range-based, but Hela, threw knives like crazy, and she has no, knife-throwing powers? I mean, maybe.
She took out, all of the Asgardian warriors.
Yeah,
by herself.
And killed all the Warriors 3. Another spoiler, she murdered the Warriors 3 very fast.
Yeah. They're all dead. Basically, half of everyone is dead. Odin's dead. Like, what? Which I was super confused by that. Why did he die?
He just faded into pixie dust, man. I don't know. They just
needed to
see you later
and didn't want to come up
Yeah.
with like a really cool way to do it.
All right, Anthony Hopkins, just please leave. And it's like, oh, okay, I'll just die, whatever. They don't want to see me act anymore. I see how it is.
Yeah. So there's that.
Oh.
I want to point out that in the Heroclix set, they do not give you a Thor that accurately represents Thor going basically Super Saiyan in the movie, because he hits this power, like he unlocks this power in himself by thinking about his father.
Yeah.
Like, he loses his hammer like crazy early in the movie.
Oh, yeah, that thing's toast.
So the rest of the movie, he's just like running around and using random weapons that he finds, which is fine. You know, he doesn't need Mjolnir. He's still Thor. And they kept alluding, like, hell is even, I'm the goddess of death. What are you the god of again? And then it just triggers this like over 9,000 level version of Thor where he gets all lightning eyes, and he's like, there's all this lightning flying off of him as he's like kicking all these old.
Lightning eye.
Yeah, lightning eye. Well, it like replaces. So he has like two eyes again though, because like the lightning looks like it has two eyes.
Oh yeah.
Again.
Sure.
But that's actually because I own this storyline. It's called Thor Disassembled, and it is what this movie is like kind of based off of. If you didn't know, the movie is actually a mashup of two different storylines. So the Thor Disassembled and Planet Hulk storylines, they just mashed up and picked a few of the like major points of them, and they did it well.
They also chose like some bits from like an older Thor run with like Scourge's Last Stand and a few other things too.
So Thor in that storyline, he actually loses both of his eyes, but then becomes omnipotent.
Both?
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess this is a spoiler for that too, if you've never read that. But Odin is gone in that storyline, and Thor does not get the Odin Force, and he needs to go and get it so he thinks he can prevent Ragnarok. Well, he finds the Well of Knowledge, and that is the well that his dad got the Odin Force from. Well, you need to sacrifice something to the well in order to receive blessing from the well. That's how Odin loses his eye. He plucks out his own eye. He rips out his eye and throws it into the well, sacrifices that, and then he gets the Odin Force. Well, Thor wants the Thor Force, so he goes and rips out one of his eye and throws it in the well, and nothing happens. And then he realizes that every sacrifice has to be bigger than the sacrifice before it. So he rips out the other eye, throws that one in there. Becomes omnipotent, and then immediately can see. So, because he's omnipotent, so he can see everything and he knows everything and whatever. But so that was kind of alluded to in the movie. I was a huge fan of Miek, however you pronounce that. Miek and Korg. But I knew you were super excited about it, so go on.
Go on. Oh, okay, so gosh, I love this movie so much. This is amazing. This is the comedy in it was good. I felt Guardians had a little too much, and this was like the right amount. Thor friggin' picked up like Hulk's weird warhammer and started beating him with that. I liked Thor's last ditch effort in the arena. The whole hey big guy, sun's getting real.
Yeah, that was really awesome. Thor was actually winning.
He was winning. He was like doing really good, and it was like just shocking. You know what I thought was crazy is like Jeff Goldblum pays like 10 million credits, and he's like, oh, it's this fun little thunder god, he's got lore of thunder. Like he paid 10 million credits, but then he starts winning, and he's like, oh, this guy's never mind. He's worth more than I bargained for. Let's take him out. Take him out.
That was pretty cool.
That was really he got the short end of the stick on that one.
But that was the first time that Thor had started unlocking his actual lightning powers.
Very true. There was some crazy lightning going on there.
And it was starting to happen, and when it did, he was at like 4,500. He wasn't over 9,000 yet.
He was getting there.
Yeah, he was getting there, and then he beats down the Hulk in a fist fight, and I'm like, okay, all right, now we kind of know, because this was like a fully powered Hulk. They didn't nerf the Hulk in this movie. They didn't change that, which makes me even a little bit more upset about this stupid Heroclix set because you went from your 300 point AOU Hulk down to a 100 point and a 75 point Hulk.
Yeah, that is really lackluster.
Why?
And just to look over actually to these figures, both Valkyries, super inaccurate. She did not touch a sword, I think, the entire time. Like, right? Did she ever actually fight with a sword?
Right at the very end when they're on the bridge.
Yeah, right at the end. That's just dumb. The Heimdall, the 04 Heimdall, is actually really accurate since he has carry and he can carry his Guardians. Like, that's actually super accurate for this Heimdall.
Yep, because he's hiding all of the Asgardians.
All those Asgardians.
Mountain.
Fenris Wolf, sadly, didn't get any bigger. He just kind of stayed big. So
yeah, he was big in the movie, but I'm still okay with this one particular click because it is still accurate to the lore. And that wolf in the movie is not actually alive. Like that's
just a dead wolf walking around, like brought back to life.
But back, when he was alive, and apparently Hela used to ride him.
That is pretty sick, actually, thinking that Hela would ride around on Fenris.
I feel like this dial would be accurate to what he was like when he was alive.
Yeah, for sure.
The fight scene between Fenris and Hulk was pretty sweet.
That was awesome. Playing like water polo down there, just splashing around, fighting for their lives. That was great.
Oh, Fenris re-died again, so he died.
Re-died, yep. Threw him off the cliff, waterfall, edge of Asgard, whatever.
So how did you feel about, I know you're a Scourge fan, how did you feel about him in the movie?
I loved Scourge. I like Karl Urban. I love him as like Judge Dredd and everything else that he's been in.
I'll straight up tell you that Karl Urban, really, really cool dude. I've met him in real life.
Really?
Yeah, I was at a Comic-Con up in Chicago, and it was probably like 5 or 10 minutes before his booth closed down, and there was no one in line. There was no one in front of the
Seriously?
booth. And I just walked up to it, and I walked up to him, and I was like, Mr. Urban, I just wanted to let you know, like, I'm a really big fan of yours. I really liked you in Dredd. I thought you did a fantastic job. We just chatted for like 10 minutes. He's super nice. And he was like asking me about me. He's like, "Oh, where are you from, man?" And we were just like legitimately chatting.
Now Kris already gives me enough stuff to be eternally jealous about, and I'm officially eternally jealous of Kris for being Karl Urban.
I will say it was one of the only celebrities that I've met that I've been that impressed with as just like he was just a cool dude.
Trying to remember who I met. I do leave South Dakota once in a while. I met the guy who played Hercules. What's his name? It's like Kevin Sorbo. He was a really chill guy.
Really?
He was super chill. I met him once. Yeah, he was really cool.
You know who was not really chill with me? Lou Ferrigno.
Really?
Yeah, he just did not seem very nice.
Does he just shout a lot? I feel like he would shout.
No, he didn't really say anything to me.
Like very loud. Really?
I introduced myself, and he just seemed very apathetic towards it. He's like,
He's like, what can you bench? Huh? What can you bench? Just was like that. I was like, he's like, nah. Sizing you up like this guy ain't a bodybuilder. Me and Arnold were real back in our day. No.
So back to the set though.
So really about Scourge. I wish we would have got a Scourge that was like, this is my stuff, and like he could like bring in objects from the game. That'd be so dope. So I loved Scourge. He was like in charge of the Bifrost in the beginning because Heimdall was whatever, an enemy of the state pretty much. And then he has Des and Troy. Des and Troy. He's got Destroy. Put them together.
Automatic ARs.
And M16s. Come on, man. Those are M16s. I'm pretty sure. Yep, from the land of Texas. Love it. And then he's basically just showing off to these two Asgardian girls, and then Thor ruins everything. I dug his armor so much in that flick. He becomes the executioner, and he doesn't execute anybody. You can see he's wrestling with that throughout the entire time. Like, I'm trying to be like a basic bad guy, but I also kind of don't want to be. And then in the end, where he's like, you know what, screw Hela. He even like does the sort of Alfred thing from The Hobbit, where he pretends to be a woman and just sort of goes on the ship and tries to go to safety. But then he like does the good thing, and he like whips out Des and Troy, Destroy, and he just rips apart when the ship's about to be dragged down by all these undead soldiers. And that was like so freaking cool.
So was that taken directly from the comics though? That is from Scourge's
like last stand. Yeah. When he's jumping down, sort of off there's that weird pillar thing going. He's jumping down into the pit of the undead with the dual M16s with the dual guns. That is like from a panel when he's just ripping them apart.
Fantastic.
And then runs out of ammo and he just starts whacking undead soldiers
with the guns.
The gun. Oh, it was so.
Did he die?
He died.
Yeah, he died.
I like him. That was his first and last appearance in the MCU.
But it was a good one because
it was good.
I think what I will always remember is dual wielding, so like akimbo M16s, and then at the same time, right when Thor shows up, and he's at the Bifrost, and he's like, "I need to announce your arrival."
Your arrival.
And then Thor just takes off with the hammer flying. He still has the hammer at this point, and he arrives to meet Loki way before Scourge does, and they're having a full-blown conversation. And Scourge is running this whole time, and he finally makes it in the middle of this conversation when everyone full well knows Thor's here.
Back.
And he's like, announcing Thor. So
Odin's son has returned. That was so great. Oh, how about Matt Damon? Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
Wasn't that just... Oh, that was hilarious.
I did not expect to see Matt Damon in Thor.
I feel like he talked to somebody. He's like, look... I gotta be in a Marvel movie, and it's gotta be a speaking part, and you gotta let me speak, maybe for probably too long. You gotta let me. I could see Matt Damon doing this, and he was the actor Loki, and it was so awesome.
So that was cool. I'm upset that they did not make a Scourge Heroclix.
So upset.
I'm upset that they did not make a generic Asgardian warrior.
Or a generic undead, even though she spawns them.
You guys really missed the mark on that one. There's probably someone at WizKids going, yeah, well, we didn't get to watch the movie, so...
You know what? They should have made a Doug. Just a generic Doug. Another day, another Doug.
Oh, well, I mean, we got... Random. What was the name of that one in the last Thor?
Oh, that was literally... His name was Doug. It was like D-U-G-H or whatever. But that was like a general Doug. This is a different Doug. I feel like...
What if it's the same guy?
What if it's just... That would be hilarious.
That's some meta-level humor at that point.
If that's true, that'd be awesome. That'd be so awesome.
I would say that the Grandmasters that they made, or at least one of them, is kind of accurate. He didn't fight anyone the entire movie.
I didn't expect him to.
No, I didn't either, but I don't know. They should have made a Valkyrie with some kind of like alcoholic trait. She spent half the movie drunk, I swear.
Oh, totally. Was she never not drinking when they were at least on the battle world or whatever?
No, I'm pretty sure she was drunk the whole time. Right
Total
up until
time.
they left and she decided to join the Revengers.
Revengers.
Yeah.
That's the name, really? Yeah, that was great.
I really liked when Hulk was still Bruce Banner and he's like, I'm needed, and he jumped out of that aircraft and he just hit the Bifrost Bridge like you would expect a human body to hit and just bounce and flop on the ground.
I cringed and laughed at the same time because that genuinely looked painful.
Yes.
Like, oh.
Yes, it did.
Man.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. The movie set now makes so much less sense after seeing the movie.
Pretty much 0 sense. Yeah.
There is absolutely no way in heck I would spend any money on this movie set now after having seen the movie.
Pick up a few singles, sure, but I'm not gonna buy a random thing of the set.
Nope.
Sorry, WizKids. You got my money with Lex Luthor, so just take it there.
It's gonna be like a $90 chase.
Yeah, it is.
So, I think that's about all I want to say about the... Oh, no, one more thing I wanted to say about the movie. Surtur.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, he was cool. The voice did not match up in my head to what...
What, you weren't thinking Clancy Brown? I think Clancy Brown was not a bad Surtur.
Well, did you notice they changed his voice when he went from, 15 feet tall to, mountain size?
So, yeah.
It was amazingly cool when he destroyed Asgard, though.
Oh, that was awesome. The sacrifice play was great.
Kills Hela
Asgard
with that.
People.
Oh my god, that was cool.
That is the coolest way to die. When she is on her giant knives and just going straight toward him, he just boom plunges the sword into her. That was great.
I think if she had a few more minutes to just lob javelins into Surtur, she may have been able to take him down. But he's just nope.
Maybe.
And he just stabs her into the ground with the sword.
He took 3 of those to the chest though, like a boss. So
yeah, but she should have been aiming for his face.
She really should have taken out the crown. I love it when Hulk was gonna all right, let's go kill Surtur. It's no, Hulk, please.
He's so stupid. They're looking off at Surtur in the background, and all you see is Hulk flying through the air yelling like he's having a blast.
He was like, I just killed this wolf. Let's go kill the fire guy. This is awesome. This is fun.
Okay. I think that's all I have about the movie. I was just really excited to talk about it.
Yep, absolutely. Go see it. Well, actually, if you got here and you didn't see it, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry if you actually got to this point and didn't see it yet. That is one we're seeing in the theaters a couple of times and picking it up on DVD like the second it comes out. For me, anyway.
Yeah, for sure. And that is definitely going to be one of the movies that we give away in the future. So it's going to be a ways, right? Obviously, because it's not going to come out for a while. But look out for that in the future. Speaking of movie giveaway. I'm going to put another community question up on Twitter, and Calder's going to put it up on Facebook. Let's say if you have already won one of the movies that I have given out, I'm going to exclude you from winning it again. So give it, spread the love around a little bit. But let's go ahead and give out a copy of Transformers, the newest Transformer movie. What is it, The Last Night or something
Last Night,
that? Yep. So I'll give out a copy of that. So look out for that Twitter question, Facebook question, and whoever gets it in first, we just look at the time. Whoever had the timestamp first, we'll give it out to you. Okay. Any last comments, thoughts, anything, Calder?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for tuning in again to Dial H for Heroclix, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
My style.